Ron DeSantis, he is clearly going to run for president in 2024. Everything that he's doing right now is an effort to set himself up to appeal to Republican primary voters. But if Trump enters the race, I mean, boy, they're not gonna go for beta Trump. They're going to want the real deal. But he's trying his best to fashion himself in that way, and that's why he yelled at those high school kids to take off their masks, and that's why he and the Republican legislature in his state is supporting this bill, colloquially known as the Don't Say Gay bill. Here he is basically lashing out at a Florida reporter for asking him about the legislation and calling it the Don't Say Gay bill as opposed to the like watered down, sanitized HB 1557 parental rights and education bill. Sure, parental rights. But here he is responding to that.
Does it say that in the bill? Does it say that in the bill? I'm asking you to tell me what's in the bill because you are pushing all the narratives. It doesn't matter what critics say.
Well, it says advance classroom instruction on sexual identity and gender orientation.
For who? For grades pre-K through 3. So 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds. And the idea that you wouldn't be honest about that and tell people what it actually says, it's why people don't trust people like you, because you peddle false narratives. And so we disabuse you of those narratives. And we're going to make sure that parents are able to send their kid to kindergarten without having some of this stuff injected into their school curriculum.
Okay, breaking news. This happened today. The Don't Say Gay bill passed. Is that right, Bradley? Can you look that up? Because that must have happened just as we went on air. Jesus.
It passed in the House yesterday, right? Or 2 days ago?
Already passed the House, but now they're saying it's passed the Senate. So for people that don't realize what this nonsense is, it effectively bans teachers from talking about sexuality, not even sexuality, I should say, gender identity and like LGBTQ issues whatsoever. If a child has a question about it, you're banned from doing it. This is a part of like the Republican. Okay, AP reported on this an hour ago. Okay, so wow, breaking news. That is really, really terrifying. It's a way to marginalize gay and trans people, obviously, queer people in general. And it's also just another flavor of the delightful Republican attack on teachers. They hate teachers unions. They want to go after them in every way that they can. So they hamstring them and ensure that if they have a little slip up that doesn't work and fit into the Republican ideology, that they can get in trouble essentially from any parent that feels, or if you're not sufficiently hateful towards trans people, towards gay people, you're out of here. And so it's a way to undercut teachers unions and their power.
Well, don't forget, the largest donors to the Democratic Party are teachers unions. The largest public service employees are teachers unions. Unionized employees are teachers in America. So, you know, they'll find ways. They're jujitsuing the shit out of politics right now. And we're just like complaining. Like that's essentially what this is it's like, we can complain about it for a news cycle, but I would like to see what kind of real investment. Notoriously, the Florida Democratic Party is weak, notoriously has lack of funds, and nobody wants to give to it. But, you know, when you look at the actual numbers, as we know, in every single presidential year, it's pretty split. It would take very little work to go over that hump, very little work, because the Republicans put so much money into Florida. We put zero money into Florida. And yet we're still we're still 50-50. Yet they've taken over the legislatures and they're able to pass bills like this, which are frankly unconstitutional.
Yeah.
You know, aside from the fact that it limits people's rights, and they're fascistic. I mean, it's they want a man's world. It's like man's world, and we're just like out of it until we can't. Also, teachers, majority women held positions. I mean, this is a union led by a woman. Majority women made up, same with frontline workers, majority women. Like this is intersectionality. People don't understand that at this point. This is what it is.
And honestly, teachers in Florida, I'm not. advocating for anything because I'm not in that position, but I think that there should be some serious consideration about like action, collective action, because between this and the COVID stuff and the attempts to not criminalize, but go after teachers for encouraging masks, and school districts, and now this. They can't just take it right now. This is an assault on teachers, in addition to like the assault, of course, on queer, trans, gay youth, 100%. And this is all. It's a way for Ron DeSantis in particular to shore up his bona fides for a national campaign, and having all these like symbolic things where you call it parental rights, while in Texas they are trying to criminalize parents for doing what they think is right for their children. And then they're still turning around and saying that they're advocates for parental rights. Give me a break. It's just bigotry.
Every single ad out there right now in Florida, if you're a Democrat, should tie the Republican Party to COVID denial, because the numbers still don't lie in Florida. People are not in denial over whether or not COVID exists. He doesn't want you safe. He doesn't want your kids taught. He's attacking teachers. This is a man who only cares about his cronies and the money he's going to make off of the government. That's what people don't like. They don't like when governors are using their positions to advance their careers and their cronies' careers, and money. And I don't know. Even with the COVID stuff, it's like he still has 2 years. That's the base that he's built up. So that's why he's coming up with all these other tricks now. You know, a year at least until the campaign really goes into full swing. There's going to be a lot more of this that's going to happen with Ron DeSantis. And you're going to see it with all the other Republicans who are planning to run, because they're all going to outright each other. And frankly, they're overplaying their hands, as we're seeing in a lot of ways right now. But it's scary because the long-term effects affect people in those states.
It affects lives. You're right. It's like what trans kids are going through in this country right now is an abomination. It's an abomination. It makes me very mad. Yeah, Jesus. Let's take another.
Governor Cuomo go run for governor down there.
We covered.
He really wants to be in. No, he really wants to be empowered. Go to Florida.
Yeah, go there and like talk about what else should be canceled instead of you.
Exactly. It's like sending what's his name to be ambassador. People were like really upset that he became an ambassador. It's like, no, they were sending him away.
Yeah.
What's his name from Chicago? Rahm Emanuel.
Rahm Emanuel.